Welcome, 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 everyone. We are back, the MVP BreastKeepers. As we begin this episode, I want to start with reminding us about our BREAST acronym. Our B stands for Believe You Can Overcome. R, provide resources. E, educate you on this horrible disease. A, advocate with you. S, as survivors, we support. And T, we are in this together. Today's episode, we are going to be talking about the phone call.
The phone call. We all remember that day where we were, almost the exact time that we got the phone call, right? So I got my phone call in 2013 in March, and I was at work. And the lady asked me, she said, "Are you somewhere where you can talk?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm at work." And then I said, "Well, give me a minute. Let me go into another room," or just because I was at my desk. And so I went into like a conference room. And then she said, "Well, I was calling to tell you that we got your test results back from your biopsy and that you have invasive lobular carcinoma." Now I'm going to repeat that. Invasive lobular carcinoma. So I was like, "And what is it?" Because I didn't know what that was. I'd never heard those words before. So I was like, "Okay, what is that?" And I had taken a pad with me. Y'all know I'm a planner. So I had my pencil and a little pad with me. So I'm trying to write it down, spell it. I didn't know how to spell it on it. And so she said, "Well, that's a form of cancer." And I was like, "Oh my God." So just be prepared. They may say another whole terminology, wording, whatever that you're not familiar with. That's okay. Ask the questions because I didn't know. I'd never heard that. I mean, have y'all ever heard of that?
I've never heard of that.
I'd never heard of cancer even being referred to as carcinoma. That was my first time in 2013, knowing that it was referred to as carcinoma. So got the phone call. She gave me right then and there. She went through saying, "Okay, we are going to help you through this entire thing." She said, "We're going to book your appointments for what you need to do next, the doctor you need to go to, the oncologist, to this or that." I was so overwhelmed. First of all, I was very emotional because I was at work and I was in a conference room, but I just like, this is too much. She was like, "You don't have to write it down. I can send you." But me being the type of person, I wanted to write it down. So I just got myself writing it down. This appointment, this day, you need to come in for this day, for this day. It was just extremely nerve-wracking, overwhelming, and stressful. But I did write it all down. But I can appreciate the fact that my doctor's office planned all of those appointments. I didn't have to call myself. So I'm telling you these because if you're in a situation where your physician doesn't offer to do that, then please ask, "Can you help me? As this is new on this journey, can you help me with making my appointments if you don't mind?" And just sending the information to me, the day and the time where I need to be, because that can be very helpful to take that off your plate. Don't you agree, ladies?
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Pam,
go ahead.
This while you're talking, I'm fighting back tears.
Oh,
I agree, Pam. And it's natural to feel overwhelmed and uncertain.
Yes.
When you're faced with that breast cancer diagnosis.
Yes. And so here I'm at work in the middle of the day and writing down everything. So after she told me that, I kind of got myself together, went to the ladies' room afterwards, because remember, I was in a conference room. I didn't know. People could have come in. Thank God nobody came in. I went to the ladies' room, got in a stall, and just broke down. And yeah. So you're going to get me emotional. So anyway, so I just broke down in the ladies' room and got myself together. But you know how we do as women. Oh, yeah. We are survivors, even before we know we're survivors, right?
Exactly.
So we make do, we make it happen.
Oh, yeah.
I went back to my desk. This lets you know how I went back to my desk, got my purse, put me some more eyeliner on, and some more lipstick, because I had a meeting like in 15 minutes. Like after that, so I knew that I was like, let me just try to get myself together. Yeah. And I was leading the meeting. So I got put some more eyeliner on, lipstick, got myself together. But when you get that phone call, it is just devastating. So I'm going to see, hey, I'm going to open up now, ladies. Let's share it with you about when you got the phone call.
Well, when I got the phone call, I was driving. and I was on my way to the hair salon, and my doctor called me, and she asked me if I was somewhere that, I could, talk. And I told her I was driving, and she said, well, why don't you pull over? I was like, okay. And I pulled over in a parking lot. And when she said, wait, Mrs. Banks, now mind you, I think I spoke about this one of the episodes previously, that the mammogram didn't pick it up, the cancer. I had to do an ultrasound. Then when I had the MRI, that's when they found out that it was cancer. And she told me she apologized because she had told me that when I had the MRI, that she really didn't think it was going to come back positive, and it did. And she told me I had cancer, breast cancer, but at that time she didn't tell me what type I had. And she scheduled my appointment to come to see her on Monday, and that was a Friday when I was diagnosed. It was like 2 days before Mother's Day, and then I went to her office on Monday, and we went from there.
All right, my scenario is a little different. I did have the what's the test, y'all? I can't have
the biopsy.
Yeah, I had the biopsy like on December 9th. So they said it'd be 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 business days. So I just happened to be sitting on my love seat, just kind of chilling. I don't even think I was watching TV or anything. And then the number that is familiar, that I was familiar with, I picked up the phone, and it was a gentleman. He was in the lab, and he said, this is so and so and so and so. I just wanted to confirm that it is breast, and breast. Y'all know the rest. And you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. I'm just calling to confirm. And then I didn't have any questions. I don't even remember what I said. I just remember him just saying it kind of quickly, briefly, with brevity, and then we just the call disconnected. I've shared previously that I kind of got an inkling that something might not be right when I had my mammogram November. And so it was just a matter of me and I've kind of been, how you kind of try to prepare yourself, you don't know for sure, but that was just my experience. That was my phone call. And then like Pam, you asked a lot of questions. Again, it was I would say no more than a minute of a phone call for me. And then I just kind of hung up, and I don't really remember much after that.
Okay, and I'm glad you said that, Vaughn, because when they're telling you, then they saying all that stuff, you're right. It's like you kind of hear, but you don't hear, because your mind is somewhere else. And it's like they're talking and you trying to obtain all this information. But it's kind of like, I found myself, can you repeat that? Can you repeat that? Or I'm sorry, I missed that. So you're right. You kind of like black out almost, like you just like, you hear them, but you don't hear them, right?
Right.
And that's why I was when I first went to the appointment. But let me go back when I got that phone call. I remember doing what you did, Pam. After I hung up, I was in my car and I just cried. And then after I got myself together, I called my sister because I knew she had went through a cancer journey, but it wasn't breast cancer. She didn't answer. Then I called Pam, one of the BreastKeepers, and I think I talked to you, Pam. I think you answered, and I think I told you, and we said a few things, and I think for some reason we hung up. And I know we spoke probably after that. I don't know how many times after that. And the reason why I called you, because I knew you were going through the journey. You was just diagnosed in March. And so it's good to have somebody or reach out to somebody who have already gone through that journey. And they can, give you some support and tell you maybe what you might be experiencing from, the diagnosis, things that you might have to go through.
I want to bring up something too. I don't know how many people watch Beyond the Gates. That's a new story that's out. I love it. It comes on at 1:00 Central Time here, but it's a story. It started about a year ago on Channel 3, CBS. And right now the storyline is about the matriarch mother has now found out that she has breast cancer. So, and she has 2 daughters, and it was the test that they had to take, the gene test, to make sure her daughters didn't have it and pass on to her grandkids. So it's a very interesting storyline, and it's very relatable, especially with us being survivors. So, I think we may want to share some of the things about that in our upcoming episodes about that, maybe a little clips of the video or something like that. What do y'all think about that, ladies?
I
that
think
would be
that's
good.
excellent.
Yeah,
And
that's good.
I will share this. I was trying to figure out as you all were talking, like, who did I call? I don't remember who I called, but
Dawn was still on the
like,
sofa. She said she couldn't get off the sofa.
I feel like I did call someone, and I know I did call a couple of people that I knew had gone through the journey. I do know that.
Yeah, you told me that. Yeah.
And I do know that immediately one lady told me to get a particular book, 40 Days of Healing. And and then of course I started, going, reading that immediately. And then of course we'll talk later about, who do you tell, but that was kind of mine. And of course I have a couple of good friends locally, and I was able to, share with them and so forth. So I was able to kind of get it off my chest, because this, is, and I'll tell y'all this, I had just not mentioned this before. I think I was just completed a nonprofit event. So I was kind of on a high, if you will. And then it's December, and then I didn't want to ruin, so to speak, certain people's Christmas, So I just held on to it for a little while before I really started bringing in what I call my A team.
But isn't there something, we as women, we're always thinking about everybody else other than ourselves.
Exactly.
We are. I mean, our family, our friends, everybody. We always put ourselves last, and sometimes we got to learn that, hey, it's okay to put ourselves first.
Yes.
It's okay to make yourself a priority, as they say. And
exactly.
but we've all done that, Vaughn, where it's like, and I didn't tell my family members until the weekend before I was having surgery. So I was having surgery in April. I found out in March. At the end of April, I was having surgery. I told them the weekend before. I just went on about it, just, I treat it as a project. I just went to my appointments, document thing. Here's my book right here. I even have it. Here's my, I don't know if y'all can see it. Can y'all see the book? I don't know.
I can't see
anyway, yeah, right there.
Right.
That's a little bit better.
Book that my girlfriend had given me at the time as a Christmas gift the year before, and I hadn't written it. You don't write in it. Right. And I was like, this is the perfect opportunity for me to use this book to journal and write in. And so that's where I had all my questions and everything down, everything. But of course, we'll talk about that in some of the more upcoming episodes about, what's next. But yeah.
Right. I think I told my siblings like a week later. I didn't tell my kids because one of them, I think, was graduating. So I didn't tell my kids. Pam, my sister, I told one sister and I told Pam because I knew they had gone through, and I knew I could get that support and get some encouragement going.
Yes.
And I knew when I went, my sister had a different type of cancer. I was one of her support people. Yes. And so it was easy being a support person than when you get that phone call and now they tell you got the big C.
Right.
And like you, Pam, I just cried.
Yeah.
I know.
And I just couldn't talk about it. Yeah.
And it's the same as you hear what they're saying, but it's also good to take someone to the appointment with you. Because I did. I had a very good support person to take with me. And I heard her saying all of these things, and I did hear her.
Right.
Blocked it out of my mind.
It's just overwhelming. It's stressful, overwhelming. And it's just a lot of information at one time to get simultaneously. But I think this has been a great episode.
Yes.
About, I call it the phone call. Yes. So very interesting title too. And so we will continue in upcoming episodes about what's next after the phone call. So stay tuned.
Stay
with
tuned.
The MVP BreastKeepers.
Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.